Oh.
Yeah, but this is probably the last engine that I'll do, I think, by the time I finish this. I've been working on it for a while, but it's sort of hard. So I've done all the boiler works, all finished, and that's all passed now.
Okay.
So a Ruston 6 horsepower from England.
Okay.
3-speed on springs. They only ever made 6.
Wow.
And according to the Ruston people, all 6 were sold in England and none have survived. So I've written to the guys over there because they wrote a book on them, you know, and said, hey, look, I've got one here, and on our boiler records through the Marine Department, which they all used to be registered for, it was first registered in New Zealand 4 months after it left the factory on the dates they give it leaving the factory.
Really?
So it must have come here fairly new.
Yeah. Maybe just set on the...
Yeah, 1913, so just built just before the start of the First World War.
Oh, yeah.
So during the First World War, Ruston's developed the single cylinder diesel engine, right? And after the war, they abandoned these traction engines because they built these traction engines. They're reasonably quick, you know, on the road. They do about 30 kilometers an hour.
That's about 20 miles an hour almost.
Yeah. So it's real quick on springs. It's quite a complicated setup. So they did build agricultural engines, but no more road engines. So, and none have survived in the world. So
other than this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Which no one in England believes me, even when I send them the photos. And see, I've got all the original nameplates. Everything was on it.
Wow.
Which was amazing. Look at that. It's even got the
number plate.
Yeah, the original pressure gauge, so it's well faded. You know, but it's just nice to have so much original stuff to rebuild. But see all the springing gear, it's all very complicated, and it comes up and down like a railway locomotive.
So it springs all the gears and everything.
Yeah, all the gears, so you get perfect geometry and all the gears.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, so it's in very good. So I've finished all the top gear now and overhauled all that, assembled all that, and then I'm just on to bolting on the tender. So the rest of it should go reasonably quick. It's just like everything. You think you're gonna work on it, but time, isn't it? It's always time. To be honest, I haven't worked on it since Christmas. I was doing really well up to Christmas, and then Christmas comes and you've got all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's a matter of
going and then time is still marching on.
Yes.
Did you have to retube it?
Yes, and new tubes, new stays in the firebox. I think I put replaced all 160 stays in the firebox. Quite a few rivets.
Screwed in?
Yep, screwed stays and hand riveted over. Yep. And replaced some rivets. Cut it out of the back plate.
All right,
okay. Section and the boiler is pretty good. I've had to do a few repairs on the barrel.
All right.
It really is quite amazing.
Yeah, Wesley's got a brand new fire tube in the muscle ramp, and got it from a friend of ours at the curator of the River Museum down in Carson City, Nevada, and he's got quick stains and that sort of thing, so he's trying to take it some stains.
Yep. Oh, really? Yeah.
They're heavy, of course.
Yes.
But nice looking on the seven.
Yeah, they look nice.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Low center of gravity too.
Yeah.
Did they hard face the gears and things like that when they built them, or how?
No, they were just cast. Cast steel gears.
Okay.
Yeah. It's beautifully made. This engine, you know, this is the 4th traction engine I've restored.
Oh wow.
And the only Ruston, there wasn't many Rustons came to New Zealand, though they were one of the biggest manufacturers in the UK. There were 3 works, you know, they employed 2,500 men, and they had three works in Lincoln. But very, very well machined, everything. You can see around, if you look at the front of the cylinder block, around there you can see where I've taken the heads off, and the cylinder bore size is stamped on the in there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What's the bore and stroke?
The stroke would be 10 inch, I think, on the bore. Kick that over. See that?
Oh yeah.
I just noticed that the other day. You see that's 9.5
For the low pressure.
plus, well, it says minus 1,000.
Okay.
And I haven't cleaned that
Yeah,
one
this
up
is
good enough.
5 3/4 plus 5 thou.
Yeah,
Wow.
amazing, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
really good. That's really good engineering,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and then you can match the piston to match
yeah,
it. Wow,
yeah.
that's great.
And the crankshaft bearings are the same. They're all stamped with everything. You know.
Well, that's really good engineering. They were
really.
really well thought out.
Yes. And very, very good engineers.
Yeah. That's a big traction engine. I mean,
Well, it's only a 6-horse,
yeah.
which isn't a big, but it was what they call a heavy duty.
Well,
And if you look at the differs over here, give you an idea of the size of the gears and the back wheels.
we call this a 6-horse. In the U.S. Case would probably call this a 70 or 75 horse.
Yeah, which would be more correct.
Okay.
But you can imagine we're talking about English people here.
Yeah.
So if a salesman came up on his horse and was selling you a traction engine and he said it was 70 horse, the chap he was talking to had probably never seen 70 horses. So they got together, they called themselves the Manchester Steam Users Association, and they got together smoking their pipes one day in their club, and they said, how are we going to rate these things, you see? So they said, well, an average size traction engine, we'll just call it a 6-horse, because a contract has a 6-horse team, small one a 4-horse, big one an 8-horse, and they
Okay.
made them right down to 2 to 12 to 16. You follow me?
Yeah.
And they did the same with cars. They called it RAC. You know, my first car was a Morris 8. It was 8 horsepower. You know, and that little truck that was round the corner, that's a Bedford made in Luton in England, and that's got 25 horsepower stamped on the cylinder block.
Even
They
though
did it, you know, because they did it even then.
Yeah, even though it would do much more.
You'd produce,
just- yeah,
you know, like cases, if they said it was 70 horse, that's what it produced, belt horsepower on the flywheel, which was a much better way of doing it.
Right.
But the English were a bit quirky, and us being part of the Commonwealth, you follow me, everything came from England. Everything American was very expensive.
Yeah, I can
really
imagine.
expensive.
Yeah.
You know, whereas from the Commonwealth, there was no import tax, or very little, because they were trying to build the country.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can see the width of that final drive and the size of those spiders. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And even look at the width of the spokes.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to think the lining's still on the wheels.
Yeah, you can still see the pinstriping. That's
And they used this engine up until 1962.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so-
incredible.
Yeah, so it was amazing. And the chap just had it sitting in his shed in a lean-to down south. I knew
Wow.
where it was. And
Oh, what a find.
I didn't actually want it. Really. Yeah, it was a long story, but anyway, he was going to sell it to England. And
No,
it's
you can't.
actually illegal to do that. From
Right,
New
to
Zealand.
export any
Export.
heritage stuff.
Yeah, and but there's a few companies that get it out. I said, oh, that's no good. And then he said, oh, why don't you buy it? I said, no, I don't want it. Came home and told my friends, and they all said, oh, you're mad, you should buy it. So in the end, I bought it.
So what does it make on the flywheel? do you think?
Generally, 6-horse engine, you can generally start 65 on the flywheel.
Okay.
65 brake horsepower. It's about right.
Okay.
Might do 70, but.
Yeah, that's quite a machine.
But I had it running when I first got it. You know, he hadn't run it since 1962, and we steamed it up and where it was, put all the doors in it.
That's great.
Backwards and forwards, and actually drove it onto the truck.
No kidding.
Yeah. Just at a low pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a beautiful machine.
Basic stuff. How do you get the wheel on that or back off of it? Do you have an overhead?
Oh,
you have
Yeah, the big bridge crane.
overhead crane.
Yeah.
A proper crane.
Yeah. But I would just roll the wheel over myself and just put it on, leave it.
Really?
Yeah.
Rather than mess with the crane?